Welcome, everyone into Never Alone Live. I'm Johnny, and as usual, I'm joined by the ever beautiful Krista, aka Sober Barbie. Also joined by my brother from another mother, Joel Anthony, who is the Sober Sessions, and so grateful you're here, brother. And
Thank you, man.
we've got a lineup today. There's our friend Tiffany. Tiffany is our number one supporter. She's the first one in the
Always
comments.
on time.
Um, so let's we are what we're going to be talking about today. We are talking about Freedom Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm telling you, my raspy voice is getting is the announcer ready. Freedom Fest. Good
You've
morning,
been talking a
Katie.
lot.
Hey,
And
Katie.
let's just go. What are your takeaways? You know, we just had Freedom Fest. You know what, Krista? Tell everybody what Freedom Fest is, whatever.
So we came together, all forms of recovery, even people who just support recovery. We came together, not just one program, all walks of life from all over the country. What we built on TikTok, this community, we brought them together. We brought virtual to reality. And we came in with testimonies and topics, and it changed my life. It changed my life. I've heard a lot of these stories before, but this was in person and real. And we always say, like, yeah, the fellowship is great on these apps, but there's nothing like a real in person meeting or community. You get some real hugs, and it's tangible, it's touchable, it just to know it is real life and not just this virtual thing that just existed, and to come together, and the resources in the community where we were, that town, Charleston, South Carolina, is on fire in the recovery community. And we had treatment centers. We had the chief of police, just that we could all be together and not have this stigma for those 3 days. It was powerful. You're on mute.
I loved
Oh.
it personally. Man, I was hoping to come to inspire folks and motivate folks, but really I was coming because I needed to be inspired and motivated as well. You know, that first night when we were there, when the recovery center spoke in that ballroom, you know, and seeing the tables filled with people on their early journey in recovery, you know, it humbled me. I talked to a couple people sitting at those tables, you know, and looking in their eyes, you know, I saw myself. You know, it reminded me of where I came from. It reminded me of the struggle that I felt early on, feeling, you know, am I going to make it? You know, am I going to be able to actually do this? You know, and that's why we were there, to be able to talk to those people and really breathe life into them and inspire them and let them know they're never alone. You know, plug, never alone. And hearing some of their stories, man, it really reminded me on why I got into this. You know, why I gave up the 9 to 5 jobs. You know, why I gave up chasing that almighty dollar. You know, because I wanted to make an impact and I wanted to change people's lives. And man, that's what we were doing, and that's what the 3 days were about. You know, community, connection, change, impact, inspire. You know, and I think we accomplished that. And I'm absolutely proud to have made the connections I did, to be in the room that I was in, to be able to make it, and just to be there. You know, it filled my heart like I can't explain. You know, so it was a great 3 days.
You know, we had some great sponsors come out, right? And it was, I mean, you can't, it takes a village to put on an event like this. And our sponsors, I mean, you know, some of them we knew, some of them we just met, you know, Elite Home Detox. Love these guys. And Fred was our very first speaker, and he talked about powerlessness, and so amazing. And he talked so well. And their company, Elite Home Detox, actually offers home detox, where they send a nurse to your house, and you can detox at home, and they're so awesome. And we had a bunch of people, representatives from there. We had Fred, we had Glynis, who wound up being a speaker on one of our panels, and then of course we had Austin Pollard, who was there. And the three of them, they were so awesome, and so much love, and it was really great. Some of our other sponsors that were there, I'm going to call out Sober Hats. Our buddy Mike, who might be here right now, I'm not sure. He was the last person to leave Charleston. I think he fell in love with that place and just didn't want to go home. But Mike has been so supportive of everything we do. We've given away dozens of free hats on here when he's joining us. He gave away a ton of free hats in Charleston. I'm wearing right now. I'm modeling the sober period. See, I call it a Scully cap. They call it a beanie. Krista, that's the first ever sober hat. Krista's rocking it.
Well, this isn't the first one, but it's one of the pink ones. He sends me all the pink ones. So
I got the beautiful sober period camo hat. Love it. And Johnny,
we
you know what they
got
call
that
those
one.
hats here in South Carolina? They call those hats toboggans, bro. I'm like, a toboggan from where I'm from is something you ride on in the snow.
Yeah, like a sled.
That's
Yeah.
a beanie.
I love whatever it is. It's very, not only does it
Scully.
recover, not only does it help me recover out loud and tell the world what I am and how I feel, because I'm sober, period. But it's it's really warm and comfortable, and I live just outside of Chicago, and it's freaking cold here right now. So big thank you to Mike with soberhats.com. You guys go check out Mike from Sober Hats. We're gonna put the link in the comments here.
He has a code too for 10% off, sober 10, and it's free shipping on all his stuff.
There you go. If anybody wants a hat, a sober period hat, they also say clean period. If you're not in recovery, but you are, with us in our mission, he has ones that say sober ally period. And then there's sober minded period. So he's got all these different hats. And if you go to his website, you put in sober 10, you get 10 points off of the package and free shipping. You can't beat that. Another one of our sponsors was Recover Out Loud. Daniel and Crystal were there, and they make apparel. Hello, Mandy Lynn. Hello, Tiffany. Hello, all the people joining us. Recover Out Loud makes apparel for just that. You can recover out loud. I'm wearing my Recover Out Loud hoodie right now. Look, I'll stand up and model. Not only does it say ROL, which is Recover Out Loud, but this is my sobriety date, January 6, 2004. Krista's wearing hers. Recover Out Loud on the sleeve. I'm telling you.
They put the year I got sober on it, and they can customize it. They put my name. It says Sober Barbie in the back like a jersey, and the number 15.
I got a little surprise coming soon, but here's a little piece of the merch that I got, yo. It's coming. It's coming, baby.
I see what that was from.
Hey, if you know, you know. That's all that matters.
I don't know where that's from.
Me neither, bro.
I'm sure you don't.
I just like the colors.
It looks like an inside job. So we had Elite Home Detox. If we could put these links in the comments, Megan, whenever you get a chance. Elite Home Detox, love them. We had Sober Hats there. We had Recover Out Loud. We had Seagrove Recovery. Seagrove Recovery is so cool. They their representatives, the CEO Ashley, and then Judy came out. Judy Wilson. They came out and shared and all sorts of stuff. When we got to Charleston on Thursday, they invited us in. We had a tour of the facility. They have 41 beds. It's very upscale. They are actively helping the Charleston community right now. There are people in the bed. We saw them. We met them. We met people, and the people that were there were like, "This is the best place we've ever been." And it was just a really really nice facility, and we got to say thank you to them.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving us behind the scenes tour of what it takes to help these people and what you're doing. And they're really big on the follow-up plan and helping them get on to the next step of their journey and their recovery. And I was very, very impressed.
Yeah, and that's important because like where I come from up north, we don't have those kind of resources, and that's what's crazy. Like sitting there on Friday night and listening to the resources and how every recovery center helps one another. They're not in competition with each other. They'll help you get to where you need to be. Like that's amazing. Like South Carolina, North Carolina, this area, man, it is. I'm so proud to be here and be a part of this community because like I don't have that back home. I was lucky by the grace of God to find a detox center that had one room left for me. It's crazy. It's amazing. And I was so blessed to be in that room and listen to those people.
The last sponsor that we have that I want to, so we've talked about all the sponsors, but we also had Southern Sky Recovery out there, our friend Reagan, and then Ben. Ben came up and knocked it out of the park when he was talking. It was so much, all the things that people said, but more than anything it was like the feeling that everyone had, if that makes any sense. It was just this togetherness, this fellowshipping, this love, this serenity. There was no drama the whole weekend. It was just you know people wanting to recover out loud. Freedom Fest was amazing, and couldn't have done it without our sponsors. So we're going to put all the links for all of our sponsors in the comments. Please go check them out. And in the coming weeks, we are going to have people from these organizations on here on our Wednesday Never Alone Live. So keep tuning in, and you'll see more of them as we go. I'm telling you, once I take that hat off, it gets bright and shiny in here. Goodness. All right. So, what was your favorite part about Freedom Fest? Krista, go ahead.
I think watching everyone have the courage to get up on that microphone and speak their worst days ever into their freedom, and just watching the hope in all the people listening, it was so powerful. And people that normally like wouldn't get up in front of anyone and say this, some people were saying these stories for the first time ever. And just the release when they walked off that stage and the empowerment they felt, and just it was it was just so powerful. That had to have been my favorite part.
What about you, Joel? What was your favorite part?
I mean, getting to meet everyone, the people that did come out from the community, being able to talk to them. I know Krista had an opportunity to meet with an older gentleman who was sitting in the pews. I forget his name, but I also had an opportunity to chat with him, and man, just talking with him and the people that were there that needed this. That was my favorite part because that's what this was all about. It was about really reaching the community, making a connection, making that impact. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's the truth. That's why we all showed up. We didn't show up. I mean, yeah, we showed up for each other, but like we do this to make an impact. And like that was my favorite part, being able to speak to these people. Like I said, that first day we were there in that ballroom, baby, going around to every table and talking with them, and them telling me their story, and that they were grateful to be there, man. That was my favorite part because that's why I was there. I love you guys, don't get me wrong. And I was proud of every single person that stood up on that stage, on that pulpit, behind that podium and told their story. That's courage. That takes courage. There's a lot of people that don't like standing in front of people and telling their story, but we all did, 12 of us. We got comfortable being uncomfortable, and we spoke from the heart. So man, for me, it was the community, talking with the community and the people early on in recovery. That was my favorite part, man, because that's what this is about, baby.
What was your favorite part, Johnny?
I honestly think the dinner. And it's at dinner when you break bread with people that you're just meeting for the first time, and you get to sit down and actually get to know people. It's one thing to hear someone speak on stage or speak in a meeting and stuff like that. Meetings are where we learn about the program. It's the meeting after the meeting where we learn how to implement these new tools into our life, right? And where we see the camaraderie and the true fellowship. So we got to have a lot of breakfasts together and dinners together and lunches, and we were all working together toward the same mission. Freedom Fest was so big and powerful because it's freedom from drugs, freedom from alcohol, it's freedom from the bondage of self. It's freedom from the idea that we're alone. Never alone, never again is our stance. And what Freedom Fest really was the Recover Out Loud movement. That yes, we are here. Yes, we are sober. Yes, we are clean. Yes, we are a sober ally. Yes, we love what we're doing, and we're going to keep doing it. We're going to do it loud. We're going to do it proud, because there's people out there dying right now. And if we get out and we share our stories, if we share our experience, if we share our hope, if we tell the world that there is another way, then boom, we give people a chance. We used to deal dope, now we deal hope. That's what this is. We're dealing hope. We're putting out the message that if Krista can do it, maybe you can do it. And if Joel can do it, maybe you can do it. And all of our stories are so different. You know, we are a group that probably wouldn't have mixed in the bars or whatever, but here we are today, with one unified mission of sharing hope, and it's beautiful, and that's I like the dinners the most, just because I was able to sit down and meet Joel for the first time. Joel and I have been friends now for months and months, but it was the first time we got to sit down and break bread. And Joel had his wife Megan there, who is one of my new best friends, and because I started talking trash to her immediately, and that's how we do,
And the laughter,
Yeah,
the like genuine, authentically good time that we used to have to put a
yeah,
substance in our body to feel that. And then we wouldn't
yeah.
even remember it.
Right,
You know?
right. No, I mean, I love that. Sitting down, having dinner with y'all, breaking bread, having real conversations. It was, how can I say? We are who we are. What you see right now is who we are. We're not putting on a front. We're not putting on a show. But when we sat at that dinner table and we're like 20 deep sitting at this table, we got to just be authentic. We didn't have to put on this. We're on a podcast. We're not on TikTok. None of that. Like, we're here in the moment, living with our significant others, or just with our friends, people that we've gained that we only knew through a little square box. And now here we are, sitting shoulder to shoulder, brothers and sisters who've been through the trenches, and now we're sitting here talking about the hope and the experience, and what we get to do now, and how blessed we are, and to be able to sit there and pray over everybody. Man, the dinners were amazing. Just that rawness and that realness, and I love that, man. That was something special. That's something I'll never forget.
You see that
This is
comment?
This is so awesome. I'm in the comments right now, and Megan says, "Love you, sober Barbie," and Johnny. That's great. That's Joel's wife right there saying, "What's up?" That's so dope, dude. We also have Eric Hansen in the comments. Eric is from Lantana. Lantana actually was at the event. They
Yeah.
spoke Friday night, and we're so grateful. That's another one. They let us come in and tour their facility We met them a few months back when Krista and I were in Charleston and just trying to introduce ourselves, and they opened open arms. They welcomed us in to see how their facilities helping others, and then they brought 20 of their people to the event Friday night. It was so
Early.
great. So
They're early in recovery and they got to experience something like that. Like, imagine being in your first month of sobriety and being able to go and see people celebrating recovery and, I mean, free food too. But
that didn't hurt.
that would have made such an impact on me in early recovery. And I'm so grateful they got the opportunity to do that. And what a great facility. Like, seriously, they're right smack downtown in Charleston. And wow.
I'm also going to shout out our boy Cliff Duff, who's in here. Cliff Duff
Cliff.
is he carries a phenomenal message. He's one of our friends on TikTok. Love you, Cliff. Glad you're in here with us. We're Casey Ray. Casey Ray. She asked the question, a big question that a lot of people are asking. Are we going to be having another one? And the answer, Casey, is 100% yes. We are going to be doing this again. We're in the conversations right now, figuring out the next game plan. But there's going to be, in the next few weeks, a lot more will be revealed on more Freedom Fest. Because this first one went so well. I'm a numbers guy, right? And we didn't really promote it to get people in the seats. And we still got over 300 people to come through. But the big thing, what we really wanted was 12 speakers over 12 hours that would be live streamed. And numbers are still coming in, but I think we're going to get well over 50,000 live streams from this, which is amazing, and that was the ultimate goal. And so that number surpassed our expectations. And something crazy was, so Krista was live for 8 hours on the Tiki-Taki. And I love this. And so she's live and people are watching all the speakers and watching everything go on, people that couldn't make it to Charleston, South Carolina. But they sat and they liked it. Now, in order to like it, you just got to tap the screen, tap, tap. She got over 200,000 likes. 200,000 likes. That is astronomical. That means that 200,000 people during the event were tapping on the phone. 200,000. That's a lot of likes. I mean, I like Krista a lot, but I'm not going to tap nothing 200,000 times for.
Well, we almost hit 100K in our morning live this morning.
That's a lot of finger cramps.
I'm telling you.
Just a lot of people just tapping.
Yeah, there we go. That's more like it.
I mean, it was just, everything about what we've done and what we've been doing has been, just so cool. And, it's just so exciting, right? That's the thing, is this is all so exciting. We didn't know, we went out to Charleston, South Carolina, and, a group of social media influencers wanting to get the message out there. And, everything was trying to go against us, right? We had weather, everybody who lives in North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, all the people that we were hoping would be there, they got snowed in, man, or iced in. And but we something I learned in my program a long time ago, my grandma used to say, suit up and show up. So we suited up and we showed up, and everybody still showed up virtually, because we were turning virtual into reality, and we were there. But man, it was so great. Look, you guys got me on a tangent.
It's usually what you
do. So we've got other people in the comments. What is Henrietta saying? Henrietta is needing advice.
What you need advice on, girl?
Where's Henrietta? So I was addicted for 25 years now, 7 months earlier, and I feel so lost. Man, Henrietta, that's a big, deep topic, and I'm glad that you brought it up. Feeling lost in early recovery. What do you think, Joel?
I mean, it's easy to feel lost early on in recovery, because you're. I mean, for me, I'll speak for myself. You're starting to learn who you are. Who you thought you were, you really aren't. And I said this because a lot of us, we feel lost, we feel alone. And if you saw the live stream or were live in person, you heard me talk about the caterpillar and the butterfly. And I say it a lot because I love this. You know, a caterpillar moves inch by inch. It takes forever to get from A to B, you know, but sooner or later that caterpillar puts itself in a cocoon. It finds itself in that cocoon. And it has to go through that season of isolation, of complete darkness, of legit being alone before it hatches from that cocoon, turns into a beautiful butterfly. And at that point, that caterpillar no longer moves inch by inch. It's a butterfly. It's unique. It's one of a kind, and it takes flight, and it can go places it never thought it could go before. So when you feel lost, when you feel alone, when you feel like you're in the dark, it is your transformation period. God or whoever, whatever it is you believe in, for me, it's God. God is working through you. He is bringing you through that darkness because he sees brighter days for you. He sees something better for you that we may not see ourselves. But God is working behind the scenes. He's always working. So if you ever feel lost, you feel alone, you're not. You have a community. I mean, you're here right now. We've all been where you are. It's okay.
Uh
Did
oh.
he mute? He muted.
Look at right when he was on a roll.
He's all prepared.
He says the greatest
He's
things
all
on mute.
prepared.
I'm telling you, maybe that was his wife. Maybe his wife's in charge of the
His
mute
wife
button.
definitely did it.
Megan's in charge of the mute button on Joel.
Oh, it says it's on mute. Click the button.
Look at who we have in the comments right now. I can't believe it. Chief Christopher Rozier, who
That
is
was my favorite part. I lied. That was my favorite part.
look at now that you're here, she's gonna tell you that's
No,
the part.
it was.
Chief Deputy Christopher Rozier is in the comments right now. Chief, it was so awesome. Chief got up and talked and told us about the things that they're doing in Charleston right now. They're using the funds from the opioid settlement fund, and they're actively working on helping people to find recovery instead of jail. That's amazing. And Chief has a 40% decrease of overdoses in his area. Chief, I like the numbers. And Chief is so awesome and so humble and so cool. And Chief will be at all of our events moving forward, whether he likes it or not. He's there. He is a part of our recovery community. And Chief was there Friday night. Chief was there Saturday. He brought people from the Charleston Police Department with him, which made Joel very nervous. Joel hasn't had a warrant. Joel hasn't had a warrant in years, but he's sitting there by a chief sweating. It was great. And,
I take my hoodie off.
and it was great because this is how it's supposed to be now. We don't have to fear the police. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's certain police that aren't in it for the right reason, but Chief Rozier and the team that he has, they carry Narcan with them. They want to help. They want to be of use. And dude, I can't talk enough about Chief Rozier. Go ahead, Krista. I know you want to.
They don't use the word addict. They don't want to bring any more stigma to what is going on. They see everyone as just like them, and they're there to help. They're not the scary ones. And then they do follow-ups on every OD call. Like, they want to check up on these people and make sure they're getting the appropriate help they need. And it's just, we got to talk about what he's doing so the other police departments follow suit, and it's just really cool to see that they are putting every cent to where it needs to go in action and the harm reduction and all aspects of recovery.
It's so you know what? I'm gonna give a little shout out to Katie Clifton, who is works for Never Alone Recovery, and she was the stage manager and project manager and kept everything going just on time and seamless at Freedom Fest. So Katie, thank you, and thank you for
Like,
being here.
seriously, thank you. I'm sure
Oh
you
boy,
need a
now
week
For
off.
real,
She needs
thank
a
you.
week off. Give her a week off.
Yeah.
Now we're in trouble. Look who just came. Skylar Ray. Skylar Ray, not only is Skylar is a good friend of Never Alone Live, he's been on here quite a few times. Make sure you go and check out Skylar Ray because he's dropping new music every Friday. Skylar was in Charleston. Not only did he speak and talk so great and but he did a performance for everyone there, and him and his girlfriend, fiance Kayla, they're so powerful and impactful. And Skylar, thank you so much, dude. Look at all the love Skylar's getting in the comments right now.
We're big
Love.
crybabies during his performance. His songs hit
Yeah.
home.
That boy
Hit
brings the fire.
home.
He brings the fire.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you guys talk about Skylar Rain in a second, but I'm gonna call out Sarah B, who another friend from Canada, is in a comment. She's one of our Tiki Taki friends, and she's here in
Be
the
nice.
comments. I'm being nice right now. I won't be nice forever, but I'm being nice right now. Love Sarah. And Tiffany is our #1 Canadian fan. I'm never gonna not say that. Tiffany
I
is
think they're even. They're
Tiffany's
even.
been here since day one. She's never missed a Never Alone Live. And now we have Sarah coming in, and she's our #2 Canadian, but she's got a U.S. passport. So
You're #1 both in my book. Okay.
not
No
Joe.
favorite.
Joe said he don't like neither of them.
Hey. Never said that.
Dude, how awesome was Skylar Ray in Charleston?
Man, bringing the fire, dude. Bringing the fire. For real. Like, I heard some of his unreleased stuff that's coming up. Man, watch out, y'all. Watch out for that boy. He bringing fire, man. He dropping knowledge, wisdom, all in his music. Go catch him. Like him.
It's so beautiful because a lot of the duos that came together, some of the wives or the partners were not in recovery, but they support from Recover Out Loud Apparel, Joel and his wife, Skylar and Kayla, like the way they just like mesh and work together. And like, we couldn't do it without the people that support recovery. They see a whole different outlook on it. And watching Kayla perform with Skylar, it just, that duo is just, I can't,
Amazing.
I'm speechless. You have to just listen to their music.
Look at our boy in the comments. Donnie, legends never die. Danny, you meant what I knew. I'm an old man. My eyeballs don't work. I'm supposed to be reading comments and they're all blurry. But thank you for being here, Danny. Danny's triple D. So we had so many cool. Is that
They're over here too?
Love that. I'm gonna give a little shout out to our friend Lauren, who came to Freedom Fest. 90 days sober, all on her own, just no matter what, she was coming, and she said something, and she has said it a few times over the past few days, that this experience changed her life. And and this is why we do it. This is why we do it. This is why Chief Rozier gets up and does it, and this is why Skylar gets up and does what he does. We're here to, try to help. And when we hear something like, wow, this event changed my life, man, now we've got to put on a lot more events. It just made a whole lot of work for me, because that's what we're trying to do. We want to change the outlook of people. We want to let people know that they're not alone, and that we can recover out loud. We don't have to stay silent in our recovery. I'm proud. I'm proud. Just getting sober, staying sober, it's hard, man.
It's superpower.
It's our superpower being sober.
Absolutely.
and you know, guys, this was just, you know, I can gush all day long about, you know, all the things that happened, all the things that went down, and all of our speakers, and some we haven't even commented on yet. Trish Kane, the owner of Healiverse, came out and talked, you know, and she was awesome, you know. And what'd you think of Trish? So, Barbara.
Trish, so she's made a couple comments since it, and how this was just a great reminder of that she wants to just continue to use her recovery to help people, to her story to help people. And like sometimes when you're in long-term recovery, you kind of lose the mission, you know, and something like this just refreshes it and why we went through it in the first place. We're here to help the next man. And she's my twin. She's my twin. I love her, and she is so funny and down to earth, and I loved it. I loved it.
Dude, I love that. I love that people are, you know, our friends are jumping in here, that we're down there and talked and shared. You know, this is where the relationship continues. You know, and we just keep on. We're all fighting the same fight. You know, we're all, a lot of us are just trying to get another 24 hours. You know, and then there's others out there that are in alliance with us to help us get that next 24. And this is why it's so important to keep this thing going. Our boy Kendall Ray Edwards. Kendall Ray has walked 9,500 miles, 9,500 miles for mental health. He came out and shared. And what'd you think about Kendall, Joe?
I mean, he was impactful, man. He had a lot of energy too, but the part that got me about his speech and what he was saying, man, when he held up that flag with 180 names on it.
4,000.
Oh, 4,000. Sorry, it's the shirt that has
The
180.
shirt, yeah.
4,000 names of people that are no longer here. I'll be honest, that shit brought a tear to my eye. Like, that's so impactful, and the reason why he's walking across the country for people like that, for moms and dads that are no longer here, for sons and daughters that are no longer here, aunts and aunts, you know, man, that was impactful. But that boy is full of energy, full of energy. Loved it. Loved hearing him speak.
I'm telling you, the guy is so amazing. He starts his next journey. He's going to be walking from Key West, Florida, to the uppermost point of Maine, and this starts February 1st. That is, when is that? Is that 3 days from now? He's going to start this next journey, and Never Alone Recovery is going to be following him the whole way. We're going to try to get press releases out. We're going to have all sorts of different posts about where he's going to be, so that people can actually join him. I wish I'd have met this kid a few years ago when he was on his journey.
Yeah, when he started it.
Unfortunately, we just met him recently,
But he'll be walking past me in a month or so. So I'm going to join him. I'm going to walk a little bit.
Krista's going to use some AI video to make it look like they were running. It's going to be the slowest walk you ever seen in your life. I'm telling you, I walked miles with Krista over the past few days, and I'm telling you, she is not the fastest walker. But she's going to get this AI going and make it look like her and Kendall just ran an ultra marathon together. I swear.
I'll start training now, okay?
Start training now for the AI.
But mental illness is the number one untreated illness in the country, in the world, and he is making a difference. And imagine having a horrible day where you don't want to be here anymore, and you see him in his little cart and it says you matter, and that's the sign you stay. Like, it's unbelievable.
That's one thing that I learned too, like in recovery. So when I first started to put out content, it was pretty much like recovery based, until I had a friend of mine come up to me and go, "Man, I love your stuff and I love your message, but like I've never suffered from addiction, but like I suffer from mental health and depression and anxiety." And that's where like my whole mentality changed on what I was trying to pump out and who I was trying to inspire. Because I mean, you can suffer from mental health and have never suffered from addiction in your life. But usually addiction and mental health go hand in hand. So, man, what he's doing is amazing. Seeing him with that sign, you matter, you are enough, baby. That boy, man, that boy. I'm so glad I was able to get him on the telly and be like, bro, we're going to be doing something. You interested? And I mean, he was there, baby.
I'm telling you, that was Joel is the reason that we're friends with Kendall. So appreciate you, brother.
Yeah,
Uh, Let me
So
jump over to the comments for 1 second because I got Charlotte Jacobs. Charlotte Jacobs says, "Never Alone Recovery. Can I be your number one South African fan?" You are,
absolutely.
Charlotte. Number one South
throw
African.
your ones up, baby.
But now you got to come back every week if you want to maintain that number one fan.
Yep. Just show up.
I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. Uh, this is dude, this has been so great. We had so many cool. You know what? I really like the panels. I like the panels. There was a panel that the three of us were on, and about the importance of prayer and the impact of prayer and how powerful prayer is. And man, I'm telling you, just standing there up there with you guys and talking about the power of prayer was so awesome. So awesome. That's one of the highlights for certain.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, I
Yeah,
think
it
people
was like bringing the actual like TikTok boxes we do, like in
right.
person, the panels. It's what we do every morning. We do a panel. So it was cool.
We turned virtual into reality, being there and cracking jokes in person was great. There was so Krista was giving the talk on forgiveness, and it was so good and so wonderful. And I had just introduced her, so I'm up on stage with her, and I was up there taking selfies with her behind me. It was so awesome.
Good thing I like go tunnel vision when I speak. I don't pay
Uh,
attention because that would have been very distracting.
mm-hmm.
Okay. But see, we have a good time. What we talk about is so heavy. It's heavy stuff. We're talking about some life changing things. So it's very important we balance it out with some laughter and good
Yeah.
times. It's so important. Imagine if we were so just, straight and
Serious
narrow the
all the
whole
time.
time.
We're not a glum lot. That's what the
No.
Yeah.
book tells me. The book tells me that straight up. We're not a glum lot. Had you walked into a meeting and walked in and there was just a bunch of sad suckers there hating life and miserable, is that what you want? No, I walked into my meeting and I heard laughter and
Yeah.
I heard joy. I heard brotherly love and harmonious, stuff. That was great, and that's what we continue to bring.
Yeah. And I think that's the
You
biggest
don't have to put
misconception.
substance in your body to achieve that at all. You don't need
Right.
anything. Maybe a
And
little caffeine, but that's
caffeine's
it.
okay. But that's the
Yeah.
misconception of people in recovery, that we're boring. I know early on in my recovery, I'm like, how am I supposed to have fun?
What's a
But
fear?
really all I was doing is I was hanging out with people, and it was unified chaos. That's all it was. We weren't really having fun. We thought we were having fun. And I learned that when I got sober and those people disappeared. Like when you turn the light on and the roaches hit, gone. That was them. Now I have real fun. Being with y'all, real fun.
And we
Going to
remember
comedy
it.
shows and concerts, real fun. Bingo.
We remember
Bingo.
it, and we're in the
We remember
moment.
it.
Yeah.
We're no longer thinking, and that's where the anxiety sets in. Damn, what happened last night? Who did I talk to? I don't know about y'all, but I used to wake up and look at my phone and be like, I talked to somebody for 35 minutes yesterday and have no recollection. That's when
I
the
burned
anxiety.
buildings down I didn't even know about, and bridges. Gosh.
There was we had Feral but Sober was there. Feral but Sober is another
Amazing.
podcast slash online community, and they are awesome. And Leanna Cox is the one who started it, and then her partner in crime, James, was there, and the two of them got up on stage and gave a great talk. James just was dropping mics left and right. But
Wow.
more than that, they brought a big chunk of their community with them. They had people that came with. They stayed at an Airbnb all together. A couple of them took bus rides for 24 hours to get to
Trains.
Charleston.
Yeah.
It was planes, trains, and automobiles. And I'm telling you, hearing the stories of them just just getting to town through the storms and through everything that was being thrown against them. They just pressed on, trudging the road of happy destiny. That's what they were doing.
And they
And
met all for the first time as well. They were just
Yeah.
virtual friends. So they got to meet, and just how many friendships that blossomed this weekend is just unbelievable.
Shout out to Renee. She was one of the people with them.
Bug.
And yeah, Bug, she's from Massachusetts. She's from my neck of the woods up north. And we had a great conversation. And one of the things she said, she took a bus ride all the way here. And she goes, if you would have known the old me, that wouldn't have happened. Like, I wouldn't have been able to make it. I probably would have gone halfway and turned around. She goes, I made it all the way. And I proved to myself that I could get here, and I could get here sober. And she was supposed to go
And she
back early,
just
but she was
turned
able to.
1 year sober right before.
Yeah,
So it was like a treat
yeah.
for herself to prove that she could make it and do it.
That's,
And it was so rewarding.
that's what she said. And man, I told her
Mhm.
I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her to make it. So
Joel just said that's what she said.
These boys, God help me.
It was great. So my friend Mary Barnes was there, right? And so when Scarlett was up talking, and Scarlett is another friend who spoke at Freedom Fest, and Krista introduced her, and I was actually down and sitting at the seats, and I'm sitting next to Mary, and she's on the tiki talkie showing all the people what's going on and showing their community what was going on. And and I love Mary, and she told me, she says, hey Johnny, Ruby, our friend Ruby, has 30 days today. And I'm telling you, that hit me like a ton of bricks. And it was like, yes, this is what we want to hear. I got up on stage and we talked about Ruby, and Ruby's a pal, Ruby's a friend, and she's got 30 days, and so proud of her. She's got 33 days today. We talked with her this morning, and the whole thing was so cool. Did we miss anybody? I know we didn't talk about Joel's talk. Joel gave a hell of a lead as well. He got up and talked, and so grateful for you, my brother, that you came out and showed out. And it was so big.
thank
We
you
had
guys for the opportunity.
Absolutely. We had an outreach panel that had Sober Hats and Recover Out Loud, and Seagrove was in it.
Character. We talked about character.
And there was just, I mean, the whole thing. I mean, we can gush about this for a long time, but we're not gonna. What we're gonna do is start building the next one. And everything was so good. We have pictures and videos and everything that's coming out. So I mean, everybody's been talking about Freedom Fest. So the the first one is important, but your next one is more important, right?
Yeah, I mean, bro, we hit the news. Like, we made
set
the
the
news.
tone.
Oh yeah. We didn't even
Come on,
talk
y'all.
about
Live
that.
5 news.
A shout out to Live
baby.
5 in Charleston.
Yeah, big
Live
shout out
5.
to Live 5 News, baby.
They came out and did interviews. They came out and filmed some of it, and they were all about the Recover Out Loud movement. And so big shout out to them. And that was so cool. And
we used to make the news for really bad stuff. Okay. And then we all got to watch ourselves. The hotel put it on, and it was like watching the Super Bowl. We were all cheering each other on, and it was so impactful. Oh,
that's it. Shout out to Victoria Blair for doing all those interviews and putting that whole package together, man. She did wonderful.
Yep. Are we, Chief? Are we for good stuff, right?
Chief says y'all are still the talk of the town. Charleston liked us, and we like Charleston, and we'll be back. We will be back for certain. And we plan on doing a lot of big things. Charleston now is our home away from home, and it's amazing. And that, I mean, if you've never been to Charleston before, go to Charleston, because and if you get locked up, mention Chief Rozier. It's you get out of jail free card.
It's a great place if you're looking to start your sobriety journey now too. Like, why not get sober on the coast? And they have an amazing detox and amazing programs. So
Look
We
at
got
JoJo.
Lauren to touch the beach for the first time. That was another highlight.
That was big. That was big.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
JoJo's in the comments right now. JoJo's mad at me. She said I was gonna mention the news, but you're not reading anything I'm writing, so I didn't.
Resentments. Well, good
Resentments.
thing we know how to work those resentments out.
Look look at Krista. Were you just talking? Did Krista just talk trash to JoJo? I think she did.
so.
No,
I
to
think
you.
so.
Really, to you.
No, I think that was JoJo.
Johnny didn't write it.
He's causing the resentments.
You know, and so our next marketing push, what we're going to push out is, you know, if you have a speaker that you would want to talk, if you have a topic you think should be discussed at Freedom Fest, if you have a town or you have a treatment facility that would want to be a part of Freedom Fest, let us know. And JoJo says Johnny is the one at fault here. That's usual. I'm good with that.
I'm throwing in a topic right now because I think it's an important one. I kind of saw somebody write it a minute ago.
What?
Making amends.
That is a good one.
Let's throw that topic in the hat right now.
We didn't really talk about that.
No, that's important. That's important.
That is. Well, I talked about forgiveness. That was kind of on the route of that.
Yeah.
But you're right.
You know, making amends.
Sponsorship as well.
Don't put me on that panel.
Why? You could talk about
accountability partners. You know, your fellowship, your community.
So,
you know,
so we're gonna end this thing pretty soon. But you know, Freedom Fest was open to everyone, and I want to bring this up because it was extremely important that, you know, everybody is welcome, right? You know, whether you're working AA, NA, CA, CR, any of the acronyms for programs. If you're not working a program, if you're working a program and have a sponsor, if you're working a program, you don't have a sponsor. Everybody's welcome. If you're in the MAT program, you're welcome. Mm-hmm. Everybody is welcome in our community because we are all just recovering one day at a time, and it doesn't matter what pathway you take to get there. There's 1,000 different paths that lead to the same direction, and that was what Freedom Fest and what Freedom Fest is all about. You know, that everybody is free to come and share and talk and give their experience, strength, and hope, what got them through that 24 hours and can help another person get through another 24 hours. That's
come as you are.
So thank you everyone for being here today. There's going to be a lot more information coming out about the next Freedom Fest. We're in the next few weeks. There'll be some information dropping, and I'm looking forward to it. Over the next few weeks, we're going to have some of our sponsors from Freedom Fest on here on Never Alone Live, talking, sharing their stories, sharing what they do on a day-to-day basis, these recovery centers. And it's going to be really impactful because all these people that we are working with, they're all in recovery too. And they all have, you know, sobriety dates, and they're all working on that next 24 hours, and they're all helping people. So I can't wait. I'm looking forward to the next few weeks of Never Alone Lives because they're going to be impactful. I want to thank my brother Joel Anthony from the Sober Sessions, not only for coming out in Freedom Fest, but coming here today and being a good friend. And love you, my brother.
Love you guys.
Krista, you got any parting words?
I'm beyond grateful for all of you, everyone in the comments, everyone who's watched all this. We are no different than you. We're all the same. And your mistakes don't define you, you know, and there's a solution. And we all just want to heal and be better people. So let's do it together.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Love y'all.